Hello, welcome to Vet Med Corner. I'm Dr. M. Today we are going to go over 5 things your veterinarian wants you to know. Join me, you'll learn something. There are some myths out that drive veterinarians absolutely crazy. One of the most prevalent is that we get kickbacks, whatever that means, for selling prescription foods from the companies that make those foods. No, not at all. The food is sold for more than the clinic purchases it for because somebody has to take the time to order it. It takes up building space. The building has to be paid for. The employee has to be paid to stock those shelves, to rotate stock on those shelves, and somebody has to be paid to sell the food to the pet that it's appropriate for. But the veterinarian doesn't receive anything for that diet leaving with a pet that needs it. We do sell prescription diets to help pets that have specific needs for their nutrition, whether it is a food allergy, whether they have needs because of kidney disease or liver disease or something else that means that they have a specific nutrition need that can only be met through a prescription diet. The reason these diets cannot be sold, in a PetSmart or another pet store is because they could be harmful if fed to the wrong pet. So if you are feeding a young growing puppy a kidney diet, that would not be good for them. And so as a result, these are prescription diets only, and that is to keep your pet safe, not because of kickbacks. There's also a myth out there that veterinarians don't receive any nutrition education. I have no idea where this comes from. It's obnoxious and it's untrue. We do receive a lot of education on how the GI tract works and how various nutrients affect every single organ system in the body. And that is a big part of our undergraduate 4 years of training, and then we also have vet school, which is another 4 years of training where we are taught these things. Now, of course, your general practitioner veterinarian is not as much of an expert as a veterinarian who then has gone on to do additional specific training in nutrition. Those are veterinary nutritionists. Those are the experts in pet nutrition, and they have a lot to teach us, and they will teach general practitioners like myself what we should be relaying to our clients so that we can help keep our pets as healthy as possible for as long as possible, and nutrition plays a big role in that. So talk to your veterinarian about nutrition. I'll put some links in the doobly-doo down below so that you can look more into that if you like and find out a bit more about veterinary nutritionists. It's important to have pet insurance for your pets or to have an easily replaceable fund of around $10,000 if you're in North America for your pets. Let's talk about an easily replaceable fund of $10,000 first. The reason I put that number out there is because if you end up in an emergency type of a situation, say your cat or dog gets hit by a car, they will need hospital care for a number of days. They'll probably need some surgery to repair broken limbs or road rash or those sorts of things. Or say your pet gets into something toxic and they need a number of days of intensive around-the-clock care, or they have something else pretty major happen to them, a slip disc in their back, that sort of thing, and they need care. You're easily going to spend $10,000 in those sorts of scenarios to care for your pet in the way that they need. And then the problem is that if people have that fund set up, but it's not easily replaceable, the next weekend, say another one of their pets gets hurt, or a complication happens, or another disaster happens, and then they have nothing to care for that incident. So if it's not feasible to have a fund that's easily replaceable, it's certainly not possible for me. There's no way I could afford to do that. So instead, I have pet insurance, and I pay that monthly fee, and I use a company that works well for the needs that I have. I mostly need is a fund for those big expenses, like if my dog needs a cruciate repair, or if there's a hit by car type of a situation, or my cat ingests something that's toxic, or you never know exactly what's going to happen. So for those big emergency type situations, I have pet insurance. If you are finding out that there are a number of companies out there that might work for you and you're just not sure who to go with, you should contact your vet clinic and ask them who they tend to recommend, because it might depend on where you are geographically, and they can discuss a little bit better what might suit your specific pet and your specific situation best in a way that's just simply not possible on YouTube. Then make sure you read all of the fine print and then pick whatever's best for you and sign up. Something I hear all the time from people is them going, oh, I always wanted to be a veterinarian, but I never thought that I could handle the euthanasias. Well, let me tell you something. Euthanasias are not the worst part of our job. A euthanasia is often a gift. It is a way to give a pet that's suffering, that cannot be helped for whatever reason, a dignified, peaceful death, instead of them suffering and suffering and suffering as they slowly die. That peaceful passing is a gift, and it's a kindness, and veterinarians do not deem that the worst part of their job. It does take a toll, don't get me wrong, but it's not the worst. The worst part of a veterinarian's job is when we come across animals that we could help, that we want to help, but that the person who has that animal won't let us. Whether it's for lack of preparation reasons or personal viewpoint reasons. Often it's financial, that the people with the pet just did not plan responsibly for what having that animal will cost. And daily being faced with those situations where we so badly want to fix something and not being able to, that is the most difficult part of my job. And it really does take a toll. Another incredibly offensive myth that goes around is that veterinarians are recommending things for the money. I hear this a lot when it comes to flea prevention, other parasite prevention, vaccines, any of those sorts of things. Well, if you think about this critically for a minute, you'll understand why it's not true. A vet clinic would make a lot more money off of a dog that gets sick from parvo, treating that, which is incredibly intensive, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of staff, takes a lot of equipment, and costs way more than the cost of the vaccine. The vaccine is in the best interest of your pet to prevent suffering, to prevent death, to prevent illness. But that means that the vet clinic makes less money because your pet's healthy. So veterinarians aren't recommending these things for the money. They're recommending them because it's in the best interest of your pet, and our biggest hope is that your pet is as healthy and happy for as long as possible, and that's why we recommend preventions. Preventive medicine is often the best medicine, and it saves everybody a lot of cost and time and stress, and it prevents a lot of suffering on behalf of our pets. So use the preventions that your veterinarian recommends. If they're saying your pet needs heartworm prevention, use it. If they are saying your pet needs flea prevention, use it. That means that you're in a geographic area where those issues are endemic, and preventing those is the best way forward for your pet. Well, we have talked about some heavier things today. I hope that you have learned something and that you will be kind to all the people who work at your vet clinic. They haven't taken a break during the pandemic. They have been incredibly busy, and things have been so incredibly stressful for everybody. So please be kind to your veterinarian, be kind to the team that cares for your pets. They really do have their best interest at heart. and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Well, take care, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.